What an honor. I mean, there are people who put their life at risk in other countries. You know, I think it's funny. The U.S. church is a declining church. But you go to the hardcore parts of China where it's illegal to be a Christian, and different parts within Asia, different parts within the Middle East, and it's the fastest growing religion by far. But here we have every opportunity, and we don't even enter with any kind of joy. Psalm 132:7, let us go into His dwelling place. Let us worship at His footstool. Let's praise God. Worship Him for who He is. Let's realize the greatness that He is. We can't put a dollar value on Him, but we can show with our lives how much we appreciate Him. We can show there should be a gladness about us. How much is God worth to you? You know, and I've said, that there isn't a dollar value, and that's true. I'm not saying, hey, don't tithe, don't give to God, because it doesn't mean anything. But what I am saying is that there's not something monetary you can throw down. You can't go home and be like, listen, I have this really nice TV and some nice shoes, and if you want those, you can have them. That's how much I value you. But it's a lifestyle. It's a devotion to God. And, the one thing that I will tell you is that God desires a heart. It's not a dollar value. It's not something we can go pull out of our closet. But our hearts have to be focused toward God. God desires a heart. 1 Samuel 13:14. But now your kingdom shall not endure. The Lord has sought out for Himself a man after His own heart. And the Lord has appointed him as ruler over His people because you have not kept what the Lord commanded you. 1 Samuel 16:7, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For God sees not as a man sees, for man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. When we talk about David and Saul, and that's what the story is about, Saul did not have a heart after God, but David did. Right? So Samuel, he pulls up and he sees all of David's brothers, and he's like, oh yeah, this big fella, he's your future king. And God says, no, you're looking at the wrong thing. I don't even see his outward appearance. All I see is his heart, and he doesn't have a heart for me. Does your heart beat to praise God? Does your heart beat to worship God? Isaiah 29:13-16 says, then the Lord said, because this people draw near with their words and honor me with their lip service, but they remove their hearts far from me, and their reverence for me consists of tradition learned by rote. Therefore, behold, I will once again deal marvelously with this people, wondrously marvelous, and the wisdom of their wise men will perish, and the discernment of their discerning men will be concealed. Woe to those who deeply hide their plans from the Lord, and whose deeds are done in a dark place. And they say, who sees us or who knows us? You turn things around. Shall the potter be considered as equal with the clay, that what is made would say to its maker, he did not make me, or what is formed say to him who formed it, he has no understanding. And you just look at that part. People draw near to me with their words and honor me with their lip service, but their hearts, they remove their hearts far from me. And this is the difficult pill that we have to learn to swallow a lot of times in this passion movement, is we have too many people that know how to praise God outwardly, but they inside themselves are the devils from hell. It doesn't take too much effort to do this. It doesn't take too much effort to sing. It takes a little bit of effort to roll out of bed on Sunday morning and get to church. It takes a little bit of effort when somebody says, what kind of faith are you? I'm a Christian. Well, I said I'm Christian. But it is a completely different thing to truly worship God with your life. A heart that beats after God, a heart that isn't only worshiping Him when we're in church, but when we're outside, when we're in our prayer, when we're in our personal life, living out the things that we need to live out for the name of God and for His sake. Too many of us, we take comfort in one type of worship, don't we? We take too much comfort there. You know, when you see them, right, and you hear them both. You hear the people, they'll be like, well, I'm more of an internal worshiper. I just like to keep it all inside. I'm going to tell you something. God didn't bless you for you to keep it all inside. And you all who shout it all the time but don't know it, God didn't mean for you to never take it inside. And for those of you who do both but don't live a life after God, your life is not a holy, living, and pleasing sacrifice. Let me tell you the people that did that. You go home and you read Isaiah 1. I'm not going to read it, but you go home and you read Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1 talks about an Israel that did not know God. What did they do? I mean, man, they prayed. They lifted up their hands in prayer. They multiplied their sacrifices. They did everything they possibly could. And what did God say to them? He said, go wash yourselves, make yourselves clean. Go visit the orphan and the widow in their distress. Be kind to the foreigner. How many Christians have made illegal immigration and racism toward people that come into this country their top issue when the Bible tells us, be kind to the foreigner? Lift up justice. Do the right thing. And then you can return to me. That is what Isaiah 1's all about. It's about a church or an Israel or whatever circumstance that you may be in at that time that has removed itself from God. They praise Him, they worship Him, they dance, they come to church, they do everything for God, but they do not live a holy life. So in closing today, what is God's value to you, and do you believe you have a heart after God? Are you living a heart after God, a heart that beats to give Him honor, glory, praise, but at the same time reverence, stillness, silence? What about a life that reflects His will? What worth are you putting on God?